Hello everybody, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be featuring product from the up and coming 2019 holiday catalogue, which will go live to customers on the 4th of September. If you join my team during this pre-order period, you're able to order from this catalogue and have that as part of your starter kit. So if you're interested in joining my team, I'd love to have you on board. Please consider joining and you can get these products sooner if you wish. So what I'm featuring today from this catalogue is the basic pattern decorative masks or stencils, and I'm going to feature this one here with the like leaves looking image. I'm also going to feature Free as a Bird, and I'm going to use the thank you sentiment. I really love this stamp set and I love the font on that thank you. It'll go perfect with what I'm after. And I'm also going to use an old but goodie Colourful Seasons stamp set. I'm going to use these two images here, the leaves and the seasonal layers dies which coordinate with this stamp set, and basically I'm going to be using the leaf die that coordinates with that image. So we'll get started with it all and I'll explain everything as we go along. So the colours I'm using today are Whisper White, some vellum and some scrap smoky slate cardstock. Sorry, the name escaped me for a second there. Okay, so I've got some vellum, and then I've got a layering piece of Whisper White cardstock with the thick one, that's for our card base. I'm just going to fold and burnish the score line. So basically it's an A6 card stock, A6 card base, sorry, which is half an A4, then I scored it in half again, and I did that prior to starting this video, just to save some time. So I'm just going to use my bone folder and burnish that score line. And I'm going to give it a good burnish. And with these Whisper White pieces of cardstock, these will just layer on top of that card base. Alright, so to start off with, I'm going to grab one of my card bases and I'm going to use my craft sheet. This is from Ranger. And basically what I'm going to be doing is some stenciling. So I'll just grab that. Now I've got a smooth side and a slightly rougher side. I'm just going to have the smooth side facing up, and I'm going to line up my stencil, and I'm going to grab some painter's tape. Get some new ones this time. Alright, so I'll put this on here for a second. So I'm just going to line up the stencil from underneath. Make sure it's nice and straight. And I'll just use one of the lines there as a guide. And with that, I'm going to put some painter's tape just on the back, on either side, so I can keep that piece of cardstock stable, so it will look like this. Okay, so what I'm going to grab is my gorgeous makeup brushes. I got these from Kmart, and the colours I'm using today are Lovely Lipstick, Soft Sea Foam and Smoky Slate. So I'm going to use the smaller of my makeup brushes so that I can do more targeted kind of ink blending. So I'm going to start off with the Lovely Lipstick. Okay, so you have two different looking stencils, but hey, that's what's the fun of it, okay? I quite like that one and this one, so we'll use them both. And I'll give this a bit of a clean and give that a wipe as well. All right, so that's it with the stenciling. And, oh, actually, I will need to bring it back. I've got some piece of, I've got a piece of cardstock vellum, and with that, make sure I got rid of all of that ink. And I'm just going to use my makeup brush again, and I'm going to use that to colour my cardstock. Okay, and that's with soft sea foam. And then I'm going to use the lovely lipstick. Just wipe off this soft sea foam. Then I'm going to use the lovely lipstick, and I'll just tap off, and I'll just colour this vellum. And I'm going to let that dry because that needs time to dry. So I'll just leave it to the side so as you can see the colours. All right, so I'll leave that to dry to the side. Now with the Stamparatus, I'm going to bring that over, and I'm going to stamp a couple of leaves. With some Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to bring in the stamp set. I'm going to use this blank image here. Okay. Oops. All right. I'm going to grab my soft sea foam. And these are the two images. Aren't they beautiful? Love it. All right. Take that off. And then I've got this smoky slate cardstock, and I'm going to grab the thank you sentiment from the Free as a Bird stamp set. And where is it? There it is. I'm going to pop this up here, and I'll take off the foam because we don't need the foam. And I'll straighten this as much as possible. And then I'm going to use, there's some grid lines on here, and I'm going to make sure that this is pretty straight. And by the looks of it, it's not too bad. So I'm going to ink that up with the Smoky Slate ink. Then I'm going to go down with the Stamparatus. One of the features that I love about the Stamparatus is you can move that down. Do that, ink it up again, and then I've got 2 sentiments. Oopsies, that's a bit, what I will do is I will go this way and just turn it over, and I won't be so heavy-handed. There we go. So there's one here, and the other one's on the other side, so I'll just cut those out. All right. So I'll get rid of this now. I won't need the Stamparatus anymore. So I'm just showing you 2 cards at the same time. So this just shows you how to mass produce as well. And it's really easy when you have the Stamparatus. All right, I'll just pop that over there. All right, so with these images, I'm going to grab the Seasonal Layers dies. And I'm going to cut out this outline of the leaf. Second one, and then I'm going to grab the vellum that I had cut out earlier, and I'm going to cut quite a few of these leaves using the vellum. Okay, so we are now done with cutting out the leaves, and how pretty are they, honestly, how beautiful. So I'm going to make 2 cards at the same time. I'm going to send these out to my customers that have recently ordered. So there we go, you can colour your vellum, let it dry, and then it doesn't come off, so it's pretty good. All right. Now, whilst we have the big shot out, I'm going to do a fun trick with the stencil and these images. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the thin die adapter, and I'm going to leave 1 cutting plate in there and just the big shot platform. And we're going to grab the Sizzix Emboss and Transfer set. If you have the Stampin' Up embossing mats from last year before they retired it, you can use this trick with your stencils. So what you will need is the thick rubber, silicone rubber mat, and the white, what's it called, the impressions pad, okay? So you will grab, as I said, grab the stencil and line up the image with your stencil. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can have the image sticking up, or you can have it debossed, and I thought it'll be fun to do a debossed version of this. So I'm going to just stick that down there. So I'm going to line up the stencil as best as I can, okay, like so. I'll do one embossed and one debossed. So, yeah, I'll just grab, okay, I will line that up again. So make sure you really line it up as best as you can. And if it's off a little, it doesn't matter. All right, so I'll just grab some of the painter's tape that I had earlier and just secure that with just the one. So you have your stencil, your cardstock, your grey silicone mat, and put that on top of the image and line it up as best as you can, and the white impressions pad, and then you just crank that through the big shot. And it didn't do anything. Just trying to think. I'm going to add the thin die adapter as well. See what happens here. Because it actually didn't do anything. Alright. Grab the impressions pad. Oh, that's why I got it wrong. All right, so you need to have this there underneath. You need to have your thing sticking up. Put that over here, and then you have this on top. And you crank it through. That's too thick. Get rid of the thin die adapter. You don't need that. All right, let's see if this works. And now you will see it has worked. It has worked. Okay, whoops. Take that off. Take that off carefully. And as you can see, here is the debossed image, and this is now embossed. So the image is raised a little, see that? That looks super cool. I love that. So let's do this one as well. Just line up your image. I'll try and do this one debossed. I don't know if it'll make it work, but so take that out. I'll do the same. It won't work. Put that over the top. So you need to have the stencil down the bottom and this up the top. And your cardstock up the top, silicone rubber mat, impressions pad, and then run it through. Okay, so that's the debossed version, and then you have the embossed. So I'll take that out. Now the painter's tape is really stuck in there because we embossed with it, but it's a necessary, I think, tactic so that, and as you can see, this is now slightly raised. It has a lovely texture to touch. Just beautiful, like it's such a good effect. So that is it now with my big shots. So I'll get rid of everything. Take that all off. And with my smoky slate, I'm just going to see how I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to have that right across. So I'll bring over my 2 card bases. So I'm going to stick down the thank you here in the middle. So I'll just grab some glue. I'll stick that down just straight across. Now, to let you know as well, I drew inspiration from the catalogue itself. So this is where this sort of comes from, but I've changed up the colours and I've changed up the stamp set as well, but the inspiration is from the catalogue. Let that stick down for a minute. That's from the, and I don't mind that there's a bit of splotches there, so I'll just, oops, go through this one here. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the excess. Keep that for another project. I can use the other side. Trim that off. And there we have that. I'm going to stick these to the front of the cards. Just trim that up a little bit more. Sticking out a bit. Oh, that looks beautiful. I love that. So nice. Oh, it's amazing what you can do with stencils, and if you have that, the embossing mats, you can do so well with that. Okay. All right, so with these, I'm going to grab my stamped image and one of each. So I'm going to put this here and here like that. Then I'm going to add the stamped one there like that. Oh, how pretty! That is so pretty. All right, so let me think now. I'll add a bit of glue down the bottom here on the stem part and have that sticking out like that. And I don't want to stick it right down because A, you're going to see it, and B, I want there to be a little bit of a lift with the leaves, a bit of dimension, and it's sticking up and being free. So I'll do it like that. And then I'm going to stick that like so down there. How beautiful. I love it. And I'm going to leave the stem free as well on this one. And that's that one. Gorgeous. And then I'll do the same on this one. I'm going to have that over there. Stick the stem down. I'm going to do the same with this one and have this one like that. And then I'm going to stick this one right there. Gorgeous. And I'll stick that right down there. So these are my thank you cards for this month. They are gorgeous. I love the texture. I love that there's a bit of a dimension with the stencil by embossing that with the embossing mat. So you use the thick grey one and the white pad. It's just fun to do something different. I love the stencils. These are great. And also I love the Free as a Bird stamp set and the Colourful Seasons. These can all be bought through my online store at pepperlyrose.stampinup.net. Here's the stamp set and the dies. How cool is this scalloped edge as well? So much you can do with these sets. Very versatile. I like to mix and match an old with the new. And these stencils really are versatile. Not only can you do beautiful colours, but you can also emboss them with your Big Shot. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a comment below the video, or you can also privately message me at pepperlyrose.stampinup.net and just use the contact me section from there, and then I will get back to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye for now.